Hello everyone, Bashar here. Recently we have created a new character, guys. As you remember, the first character was a Cyclone, the regular Cyclone build that can do everything in the game. Our second character was a specific character that was used in farming glacier maps by exploiting the monolith mechanic, and our third character is dedicated to exploiting the emblem mechanic, guys. As you know, while you are doing those monoliths out there, you get some splinters. I don't have the market here, but you have karui rising in value. I mean, in ascending value order. The Eternal Empire, the Baal, Templar, and finally market. Like I said, I don't have any market right now. We've been doing many runs, so that's yellow. And so, guys, by putting all of these 4 fragments in your map device, normally originally your map device has only 4 slots, and if you put these in and finish the fight in there, then you unlock the 5th slot. Then you can do 5 emblems, guys, and 5 emblems is probably the best way to earn XP. Thing is, guys, normally the areas in the game are level 83 at highest. I mean, I'm not including specific areas like Shepherd's Realm, Elder's Realm, because those places don't really have many monsters except for the bosses. So the 5 emblem carry is the 5 emblem. I mean, the 5 emblem dungeon, the 5 emblem conflict is level 84, guys. And that's a huge difference because the level difference between you and the monsters causes the experience penalty. So if the monsters are level 84, the penalty actually starts 1 level late, and it doesn't ramp up to too high when you're trying to go to level 100. By the way, I haven't hit level 100 with this character, guys. It's extremely powerful. So let's get on to the gear, guys. So what this character does is to make use of the headhunter mechanics, guys. I think a show and tell would be in order. I mean, I'm not sure what I should do first. So I'll do the area first, and then or I should explain the gear first, guys. So what we are using is, guys, we are using a +3 range jeweled foil because we are using Cyclone as our main skill. As you can see, it has a very large area. So Cyclone receives all kinds of weapon range modifiers as range. So jeweled foils have the highest range, 14 base. So it's a +3 craft. It's a +3 modifier on it. So its range becomes 17. And here comes the trick, guys. Prismatic Eclipse, you know, it rewards you for having each kind of socket. And if the sockets are white, you also you actually receive +6 range again. And that range bonus is global, guys. It's not just for Prismatic Eclipse, but for everything. So and Cyclone is done with the main hand, so we will have a 23 range Cyclone, guys, and that's how it's so huge. And we also have carcass check, guys. It's the area friendly chest, increased AoE, increased damage, and okay, we have headhunter. That's what makes this build go, guys. And now we have a combo. Let me show it in here. Okay, guys. Thing is, we are using temporal chains, and temporal chains, as you know from so many maps, it makes you or the enemies or the cursed entities move slower and attack slower, etc. But actually, guys, the wording is that time passes slower for cursed enemies, and that also means debuffs and buffs expire slower, right? So, and these gloves reflect the curses in it back to us. So by cursing our enemies, we are also cursing ourselves, and we also have Shaper's presence from this one. So the Shaper's presence will make your buffs expire slower. So all in all, guys, when we kill a rare monsters with Headhunter, we steal all of its modifiers, and because of the Shackles of the Wretched effect, we curse ourselves. The effects wear off slower, and it will also wear off slower thanks to Solstice Vigil, guys. Let me demonstrate now. Particular rare. Okay, guys, as you can see, okay, I'm cursed now. Look at my Headhunter buffs. Hold up. 17, 16, 15. You see? And I lost the curse there actually. Okay, let's take a look now. 13, 12. So guys, 1 second is actually like 3 or 4 seconds. So Headhunter buffs stay on us for about 80 seconds instead of 20, guys, which is what this build is aiming to abuse. And also, guys, as you know, temporal chains is very annoying. So in order to counter the effects of temporal chains, we use Chaos Roots that prevents the temporal chains to make that prevents temporal chains from making us move slower and attack slower, because it says action speed cannot be modified below base value. And the enchant on it, the 10% increase movement speed, affects after the temporal chains reduction, so it actually makes us move 10% faster. So guys, almost everything in the build is fixed, so we have room for 3 rares only. I'm not including the weapon. If you include the weapon, we have room for 4 rares only. I mean, the chest has to be Carcass Jack. The belt, this is 100%, guys. I mean, Headhunter, Red Shackles of the Wretched, Chaos Roots, Solstice Vigil, and Prismatic Eclipse are a must. I mean, maybe you can change Carcass Jack with something else, but I don't really advise it. It's very, very good. So guys, we want infused channeling for Cyclone. I'll come to that. So we want a lot of intelligence, and our helmet is a very limiting item. So the intelligence required should be gotten. I mean, this has plus 16 intelligence on it, unless it's corrupted. If it's corrupted, it loses that implicit bonus, but there's some intelligence here, and there are some from the nodes in our passive tree, which I will show. So we need a lot of intelligence from these 2 rings, guys. And also, you might have realized, guys, there's nothing that gives resistances in here. So the only resistances we are able to get are from a helmet, 2 rings, and our passive tree, right? There are no resistances whatsoever, and the resistances should be capped. So we need to get a huge amount of resistances from our rings. So 2 stone rings come to mind, right? Because they can give 32 resistance total as an implicit modifier. And as you can see, my ring here has 32 plus 90, 122 resist on it, guys. So what we want is max life, more than 100 total resist, a lot of intelligence, and guys, one empty modifier where we can use the -9 mana cost craft. Thing is, -8 doesn't do it. That craft is varying, guys. It can give -8 or -9. If you get -8, you have to scour it and you have to do it again till you get -9, and it costs 1 Exile Torb. So because the reason is, guys, with all of the supports, Cyclone will cost 9 mana. So if this craft is -8, Cyclone will cost mana and we will fail. As you can see, the amount of reserved mana is extremely high. We just have 1% mana to work with, guys, and that's why we are only using skills that require very little mana, and the rest is just, I mean, free. So, and the other ring, same thing, guys. I mean, that physical damage and then that maximum energy shield are nothing, to be honest. We just need the resistances. So this was my last item, so I had to get that extra cold resist here, guys, because my fire and lightning were already capped. So this item is slightly worse. I mean, this is very top notch, guys, probably worth 2-digit exalted, and this is mediocre only, but it served my purpose. So the max energy shield and the physical damage added rolls do not mean much, but like I said, it serves its purpose. And as for the helmet, guys, we definitely need 30% increased temple chains curse effect, so our temple chains become stronger, and when we self curse it also becomes stronger, and we want the +1 melee weapon and unarmed range, so the Cyclone is bigger. And as for the rest, we want resistances and life, so this is valuable as well. And by the way, guys, the build is extremely and horribly expensive. I mean, I don't have a huge experience in Path of Exile still, but I mean, I haven't seen anything more expensive. I have heard maybe Delve characters are more expensive than this, but other than that, I don't think there's anything that comes close. So my character is nowadays price maybe a little lower, but it's worth about 600 Exalt Orbs, guys. It's very, very expensive. I mean, do it only if you're filter rich. As for Flask, guys, all melees standard, guys. Lion's Roar, 25% increased damage. It's awesome. We are using Cinder's Wall of Urn, guys. And for Cinder's Wall of Urn, guys, actually the recover life per kill modifier is very important, because when your gear is not very good, you can actually die, and that 1% and to 3% roll changes a lot, because, guys, at the start you are actually taking some damage, and it actually matters if you heal for 100 HP or at 30 HP when you kill a monster. That can keep you alive, so definitely go for a 3% life gained. I mean, you can just get the critical strike chance a little bit lower. Mine is perfect, but it took me some time to get that version for a reasonable price. And this is very core, guys. It's the most expensive magical flask, I think. I mean, it has 40% move speed, 30% move speed, and 25% increase effect, guys. So with this flask you just fly. The fourth flask is the Wise Oak. That makes us enemy elemental resist. That makes us penetrate elemental resistance. So it gives us resistances, and also we penetrate our opponent's resistances for the uncapped resistance. Let's see. My highest uncapped resistance is fire, guys. So we get fire penetration. And finally, we have Atziri's Promise, guys. This is one of our survival mechanics as well. It gives us some chaos resistance. That's not very important. but it gives us 20% of our physical damage as chaos damage and 14% of our elemental damage as chaos damage, and we leech 2% of that as life. So these two flasks keep us alive, other than the leech that we receive from our passive points. So guys, and in the offhand weapon, not the offhand weapon, the secondary weapon, we use Simictas metal, guys. This is actually important. This is the first build I see. This is important. So guys, this gives us rampage when we kill a monster. Thing is, when we start getting rampage, guys, we can switch back to our original weapons and the rampage counter will keep counting. So this will give us 3 or 4 frenzy charges. I mean, it actually and rampage stacks up to 1,000, guys, but we have a limit on frenzy charges, so this will give us a lot of frenzy charges, 3 or 4. Let's see. Oh, it actually gives 5, so 5 frenzy charges, and 80% increase AoE, which is nice, guys. So I will show and explain in a few minutes. So we go in there, we kill a few monsters. After that, when we feel a little bit comfortable, guys, we switch to this axe. We kill one monster only, I mean as few as we can, and then we switch back to our original weapons and keep on killing and get the bonuses from the rampage. And you can also level gems in it. So guys, that's the gear and the flasks. As for the jewels, guys, and the passive tree is here. I will leave the profile, I will leave my profile under the video, so you can check my passive tree from my profile. We need a Watcher's Eye, guys, hated Watcher's Eye. The critical version is the most important one. I'm using a dual hatred. These are worth around 50 exalt tops, guys, and the only crit chance hatreds are worth maybe 5 or 6 exalt tops, so you can go for that. I actually advise you to go for that if you're not going all in. We also need a transcendent flesh that's obtained from upgrading tempered flesh in the temple of Atsuatl. Gives us a lot of critical strike multiplier, so makes our crits do more damage. We also have that's a rare, I'll come back to that. We have also Warlord's Reach, guys, another plus range, so our cyclone reaches even further. Then we have Conqueror's Potency, so increases the effects of our flasks and increases the effect of non-curse auras, which is hatred, and also increase the effect of our curses. That means temporal chains will slow even more, so our headhunter buffs expire even slower. And guys, we have 3 inspired learnings, as you can see here. Inspired learning is a mini headhunter, guys, but it requires you to assign 4 notables in its radius, and its radius is small, guys, so you need to find very specific areas for this. For example, if you take a look now, within this jewel's radius, guys, we only have 6 notables, so we have to get 4 out of these 6 notables. So for example, this jewel socket is out of the question, right? Because there are very few notables and there's no way you can obtain 4. And sometimes, guys, you don't want to get 4 within the range because some of them are not useful for you. There's that. So this is where the first inspired learning goes, this is where the second inspired learning goes, and this is where the final inspired learning goes, guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4 in. And in case you don't know, guys, these big nodes are called keystones. These middle-sized nodes are called notables. So that's how inspired learning works. I mean, you cannot just put it here and make it work. You have to assign 4 notables within a small radius. So these are the jewels, and our ascendancy class is Berserker. We give our right of ruin and bits. So as for the gems, guys, we have Cyclone, of course, on the chest. We use Pulverize. We use Rage. Rage is required for our ascendancy classes ability, so we need Rage. Infused channeling has been one of the most popular gems here. It's very good, guys. Makes us take less damage, makes us do more damage. It's a very good gem. Then we have melee physical damage, it's obvious, and finally we have Fortify, which will fortify us and give us more defense, etc, etc. These are the main gems. So we want the curse in the gloves, guys, because the only way we can curse ourselves is to have temporal chains here. But guys, since the character is very mobile, you cannot go around and curse the monsters all the time. We have to make curse on it do the work. So we also use curse on it, and curse on it requires a curse and the skill that damages enemies. So whenever that skill damages enemies, a curse on it will cast that curse. So that skill is Herald of Thunder. And here will come the trick, guys. Herald of Thunder reserves 25% of our mana. But the rest of the stuff that we use reserves 83% of our mana or something like that. So it actually surpasses level more than 100% mana reserve, and that cannot be done. So we are using Enlighten so we can reserve that mana, guys. So in our helmet we use everything that reserves mana, everything else that reserves mana: Blood and Sand, Herald of Ash, Hatred, and Enlighten. So the Enlighten has to be level 4, guys. As you can see, we have only 1% mana left. So if you try to use a level 3 Enlighten, it doesn't work, because level 4 Enlighten reduces the reserved mana by these skills by 12%, and that allows us to use Herald of Thunder in here by leaving 1% mana unreserved, guys. And with that 1%, we will actually use our Steel Skin and Berserk. So, and in the weapons, guys, in the offhand weapon we have defensive stuff, we have cast when damage taken, and punishment. Punishment is a curse, guys, but it's not a huge problem. So punishment curses enemies, guys, and as you know, we can curse the enemies only once. But even if punishment is overridden by temporal chains, we get 70% attack speed from hitting them. So this gives us permanently 70% attack speed. And we also have Steel Skin for defense. As you know, the Steel Skin opens a shield on you and absorbs some damage. It's only useful at the start. And guys, here comes the big brain part. When you're playing the emblems with many players in it, guys, the HPs of the monsters become quite big. So after you kill that first raid, things become much easier, because you either become stronger or you become tougher, or both at times, because you steal the monster's modifiers. But the first raid can be a problem, so that's why we are using Wall Double Strike with melee, physical, and maim. Thing is, guys, Wall Double Strike is similar to Double Strike, but it also creates 2 clones of us, and those clones copy everything that we have. So we use our flasks, we use everything that we can, and then we bring out our copies, and damage will be huge, and we will take down many rare monsters by that time, and we will get a lot of headhunter stacks. And finally guys, the last gem is Berserk. Berserk actually consumes our rage slowly and keeps increasing, doing it faster till we run out of rage, but it makes us much stronger. We deal 20% more damage, 20% more attack speed, 30% more movement speed, and 19% less damage taking, guys. It's very powerful. I mean, you cannot keep up with this because we lose 5 rage per second and it keeps increasing and increasing, so you cannot permanently keep this, but at the start it gives you a very nice burst, guys. So you start killing some monsters and gain some souls, you refresh your flasks, you do Berserk, and then you create your copies with the double strike, guys, and everything will evaporate. That's the big brain part of this build. So we keep our headhunter buffs on us for 80 to 90 seconds by using Shaper's Presence and self-cursing us with temporal chains. And let me show you the build in action now. I should have just portal, I guess. What we have. Yeah, the distance. So guys, Blood and Sand is extremely ideal for this build because, guys, at the start you just want to kill a few rares, right? And at the end you just want more AoE so you can kill everything. So I will demonstrate on a 4 emblem, guys. So 5 emblems are slightly harder, but you will see how powerful we are, and the timer is longer there. I just want to show you. So we are ready. Start up in Blood Stance, guys, because we deal more damage, right? We need to kill that first rare. I mean, it won't be very useful for me now, but and normally you get someone else with you, they do the resetting and you do the killing, but I'm just gonna solo it now. Everyone will pop up. Okay, slowly building up. Now I have the souls. Now I use refresh, Berserk, and double copies, and now these are generals. Well, she survived longer than she should. We are moving a bit slow, guys. We need to find something with movement speed and kill that so we can move faster. Let's change the weapon for a second. I had a few kills in. Okay, now. Okay, I didn't. Okay, let's take a look now. Okay, so rampage counter is ramping up now, guys. Now let's see. As you can see, now I'm killing the generals very fast, as you can see. So let's switch to Sand Stance for melee, and now it's done, guys. We will just do spinning and resetting. As you can see, loot keeps accruing, and it might look a little bit weird to you guys, but that's how it actually is. Small frame skip there. Yeah, I'm a bit big now. That's a bit fast. I mean, the resetting takes longer. Look at my size, guys. I'm a skyscraper. Okay, I killed everything. And you can actually sell this, guys, even if your gear is good. For example, you can ask the person ask the person to bring their own emblems, and you help them out in return for a fee, and they get all the loot. And this is, guys, like a huge XP. I mean, if you have enough emblems, guys, and you have someone who's resetting this for you, I mean, getting from level 99 to 100 will take about 3 hours or so. It's extremely fast. And as you can see, the loot keeps accruing on the bottom of the page, guys. There are some monsters out there. Did it kick me? What's going on? That's very weird. I got kicked out twice. This Templar guy becomes immune every once and then. It's a bit annoying. Okay, don't kick me out. Oh! I just got countered, right? Sure. Nice headhunter modifier. Okay. Got about 4 pages of loot. And this is the loot, guys. It's not too bad, as you can see. So this is the build, guys. If you, I got actually I got 2 Exile tops actually. Whoa. Woohoo, that's lucky. Because, guys, this place with 4 emblem costs less than an Exile top or so. So if you have any questions, guys, feel free to ask them. I'll try to answer. See you, goodbye.